right. I guess we should start off by saying what we've been up to since the last video. It's obviously been quite some time. This is obviously different. So I think the last video I made was winter, right before 2021 season. So it is obviously now 2022, and we're going into our 7th growing season. So we went rec in 2017, but we did medical in 2016. So yeah, 2022 is our 7th growing season, our 7th year in these beds. So we are living soil, no-till, and only organic inputs here, and natural amendments and things. So yeah, we spent the winter months, Mike and I were in Austin, Texas. That's where my family is, and I gave birth to this beautiful girl in April, and then we came back up here at the beginning of June. And meanwhile, at the farm, Tyler is our farm manager, and he was doing all of the prep with a couple of other employees, Doug and Zach and Tom. So they were getting all of our mom plants big and beautiful, and doing a lot of cloning, which is where you take a genetic copy of the plant and get it ready for the field. So they were doing all the cloning and all the transplanting and uppotting and everything. And yeah, Mike and I came back in June, and he is still working in the oil field, or I guess I shouldn't say still, I said went back to the oil field in December. The Oregon market for cannabis is really down right now. For the farmer, there's just a lot of supply and not as much demand, and so the farmers have really taken a hit this last year. So Mike went back to his job in the oil field, or went back to a job in the oil field, and was working in an office in Houston for a while, and rotating to an office in Austin, sorry, not Houston, and is now on a rig as a company man. So me and baby girl have just been holding down the fort over at the big farm while he's gone, and yeah, Tyler's been holding down the fort here at the farm. So we have planted all of the entire farm already, and we're doing a mixture, same as we did last year, a mixture of light dep and full season. So light dep is these little hoop structures that you see, and then the plastic tarps. So cannabis, it has a vegetative growth cycle and a flowering growth cycle. And for vegetative growth, it needs over 12 hours of sunlight, and to go into flower, it triggers when it gets 12 hours or less of sunlight. So we pull a tarp over it to make it think that it's time to go into flower and get ready for fall. So we are going to start pulling tarps on some of the beds here in the next couple of days. So you can see we've got 26 beds total, and the ones without the hoops are full season beds. So those are going to go on a natural light cycle, where they basically flip into flower on their own, and I believe around like September sometimes, depending on how the season goes. So yeah, we now have a beautiful baby daughter, and it definitely changes everything. So I was telling Mike, I was like, it's just weird, I'm not a farm hand anymore, I'm a mom. And but I'm still, we're trying to get in our routine where baby girl, her name is Ellie, where Ellie and I are here every morning, because she gets up about 5:30 or 6, and we'll be over here in the mornings before it gets too hot, and helping out with what we can. And then we'll go back to the big farm and hang out there, where I'll do like YouTube and metric, and the paperwork side of things. And so yeah, we've been doing really good, really well. Last season, 2021, was phenomenal. It was the best flower we've ever produced which is unfortunate because the prices are down, but we've had incredible feedback. Some of our strains that you guys might see out there, Dessert Runts, Lighter Fluid Lip Gloss, Gas Station Donut, Roasted Garlic Margie, and our classic like blueberry cookies that we've grown quite a few times. And phenomenal products last year. So we have some cool collaborations with Anthology and Artifact Extracts for some fresh frozen material, and that's where you cut the plant down and freeze it immediately. So you strip all the big leaf off and just freeze the buds, and they use it for like any of the live products that you see for concentrates. If you see live resin or live rosin, or that's a live, that's fresh frozen material. So did fresh frozen this year for the first time, and it went really well received. So yeah, that's what we got going on here. That's the update. So let me know if you have any questions for us. Other than that, I will just be doing some like farm tours and going over like what everything is that we're growing here this year. Also, we are not growing at the hemp farm this year. We did, I think, like 3 or 5 acres of hemp last year. That went okay. Mike and I harvested that all ourselves. That was fun. I was finally getting out of the first trimester feelings where first trimester felt like garbage, didn't do anything, or felt like I couldn't do anything. So once I got out of that, Mike and I harvested the hemp farm completely by ourselves, which was a huge change from the previous years where we had massive crews because we planted so much. So not planting any hemp this year, trying to scale everything down because the market has not been friendly to us. I'm sure most farmers feel that way with this season. So not growing anything there. I'm doing we're kind of working on that farm a little bit, revamping it. We've got some big plans working with Regenerative Farm Consultant there. So redoing some of the, the cottage garden or the domestic garden, the one that's close to the house. We're going to be redoing that with some weed barrier. And we're haying the property this year because our grass hay came back so beautifully. So we're going to hay that, and the sheep just got sheared, and I'm just doing like some small vegetable production. We've got some vegetables over here too that we planted, and I'm just being a mom and making bread and all the usual things. So yeah, check us out on Instagram too. It's at Willowbilly Farms, and have a great day. Back over at the big farm, just doing a little project, making a herb garden bed in the front. So we put down some weed barrier, made a little raised bed, and then I gathered some sticks, put that down, and then this is one of the pelts from the sheep that we had sheared a few weeks ago. And that's going down, and then compost and soil. So it's going to be kind of like a hugelkultur style bed, and I'm super excited about it because I've been wanting to. We got sheep a year ago, and this is the first time they got sheared. So, ton of wool, and it's just beautiful. So this is gonna go down in the bed, and it's a really good carbon source, and it'll break down really quickly. So, super exciting. And the sheep are loving their haircuts. And there's Jackson. And Sage. And then I got my little sidekick here. So getting that bed done.